if you have a black character and you don't want to change them into a white character because you will be seen as racist and you will be seen as someone that changes characters for no reason, changes their race, I mean, then this is a great rule of thumb to apply the same logic and the same, well, the same logic
Yeah,
to white characters.
exactly.
If you won't do it to black characters, you cannot do it to white
Yeah,
characters.
exactly.
Simple as that.
And we cannot apply the logic, well, those are different versions because there are multiple universes. No, no, no,
No,
no, no,
sorry,
no.
no.
Sorry, no,
Sorry.
no. That's not true because it's still, and it's also disrespectful to the people because you keep diminishing them by actually giving them these side characters.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
race band, just like happened in that horrible, what was the Cape Crusader Batman show? Horrible show, horrible. With
Oh,
the Black
yes.
Barbara Gordon and the
Oh,
Black
no.
Jim Gordon and the fat lesbian Renee Montoya and Asian Harley Quinn, and people say, well, it's a different
Also
version. It
fat.
doesn't need to be the same. It doesn't need to be the same. But then make another character. I don't mind to see, a police assistant who is black and works for Gordon, and it's actually a great guy. I don't mind that. But not Gordon himself. I don't mind seeing a new Asian character who is, an original villain. Harley Quinn was created original,
Yeah.
from the cartoons. She wasn't in comic books or anything. So they proved long time ago we can create original characters. In a show from 2005, The Batman, they had original characters. That one of them was Ethan Bennett, who was a police officer, police detective. Actually, he was black, totally original. They created him for the show. He was Bruce Wayne's best friend. He became Clayface to have the drama. That was a new Clayface. They also had Detective Yang, who was Asian, and she worked with Batman, unbeknownst to the police. And she was Asian. And nobody said a thing. Those were original characters. What is the problem with that then? But the writers like that apparently forget things like that because they just want to interject their opinion into the works, and people like that should not write anything connected with comic books and those characters. I mean, Sonic is a great symbol, so you can't give it to a person like that.
Actually, we had to kind of explain something like that today to a guy
Oh yeah,
outside.
yeah.
So basically, there is a young guy here that is like very newbie when it comes to comic books. He's like a fan of Doctor Doom, Spider-Man.
But he said he's from DC, and I said no, he's from
No,
Marvel.
yeah, he's really a noob. Like he doesn't know anything. But basically, he said that he saw that there's a Superman movie and he kind of wants to see it. And we really told him that it's very mature, like childish humor, doesn't really respect Superman or anyone else in the movie. Like stuff like that. We just explained. He's like, well, you're probably want things to be exactly like the comic books, and that's why you talk like that. And I'm like, no, we want the character to be kept
To be the
as
character,
the character. Superman has particular qualities to him, attributes, character traits that are rock solid, they're universal all around. There are some things about him that are absolutely universally accepted to be true. What kind of a person he is, that's his core nature. That is sacred.
Exactly.
That's how it is when it
That's how
comes
it
to
is.
characters. So if you don't represent this on screen, you're not putting Superman on screen. You're putting someone else, a parody of him, something that is a shadow of him, but not Superman.
Exactly.
So you gotta keep his nature, his core values, everything that makes him who he is. That is first. You don't need to make the comic books exactly like they are because sometimes they don't translate on screen very well. You can recreate some of the stories in a better way so it can fit the screen, but you got to be very self-aware of how you do things. So that's why we need competent movie makers that totally understand the comic books and all those things. So
and the characters,
So we are not some aficionados that are gonna lift their little finger like aristocrats and say, no, we want our comic books brought to life exactly how they are. Otherwise, we're going to turn the other way and do this.
and not watching it, exactly that.
But no,
I mean,
we are not stuck up.
we don't care about things like oh, that moment there in the movie in the in minute 5 and 6, was exactly like the cover of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four number 776. I don't care about that. Okay, it's a good moment, for example. I just want the characters. Sometimes actually the stories make more sense in the movies. Comic books, could be really nonsensical, let's say, like that. So I just want to see the characters. Sonic, for example, in all media for now, so far he behaves as he should behave, as Sonic the Hedgehog. There is a great TV show by on Netflix of all the places, Sonic Prime, which is very good. Imagine that. It's not an edgy Sonic for adults or something. It's good for kids. It's good for adults. I watched it with my son. Really, really great. It's CGI. It's one of the best Sonic things I have ever seen actually in the last years. And that show still proves that you can make it for kids. You can make it for adults, and everybody can enjoy it. It doesn't need to be all now a new, because it's on Netflix. You make it, a rated R Sonic. He'll get Dr. Robotnik's head with his spin dash, and there will be a fountain of blood and stuff because rated R. No,
I thought you were gonna say with his penis.
Oh boy.
Like,
Did you know, by the way?
gonna...
You know, by the way, when they made the season 5 of Samurai Jack, because they made it not on the normal Cartoon Network, but on the Adult Swim part, in which they show cartoons for adults, and they used that, and in one of the episodes they said penis.
What?
Yeah, in Samurai Jack. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. There was a guy who's they came because it was on Adult Swim.
But
and I
why
say, man, now it's
they?
kind of like, well, that fifth season actually is not very good, and it doesn't finish as good. It was going to be better if they never actually finished the show.
Just because something is for adults doesn't
Doesn't
mean
mean-
that adults want to see explicit
Exactly.
content into their favorite cartoons and other media.
Exactly. And it wasn't even funny. I mean, it was a bounty hunter who said, look, that guy's head looks like a penis. And he said,
I think this should be more emphasized. Because
it should be.
we are adults.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we want to see explicit content.
No.
It doesn't.
Sure as hell I didn't enjoy the orgy in the Peacemaker episode.
No. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. If it doesn't add to the story and just something that is for shock value, oh my God, and just has no class at all.
Hello to Valiant Goat,
It's
by the way.
just sad. If Valiant Goat had you.
Yes.
So yeah, he says, I feel bad for normal Sonic fans. A lot of loons in that fandom.
There are lots of loons now in every fandom.
In every.
Pretty much. Even in Super Mario, Pokemon, Warhammer now is beginning to see.
Warhammer, yeah, one of the last standing things.
Yeah.
Now it's filled with these woke people that have no idea what Warhammer stands for, what it is. They call it atheist, whatever cis they can call it.
Whatever they can call it.
And that has nothing to do with Warhammer. There's multiple videos about that and how people call it the wrong terms. It's so stupid. And like 10, 15 years ago, when these things didn't exist yet, I was already in the Xena forums.
No.
I was already there. And I was watching all kinds of woke stuff happening in real time.
Yeah.
Because the Xena fandom is like one of the first that tried to take over the show and to impose on everybody all the gay stuff that could have been. That is how it is to this day. Actually, 2 days ago, I got a comment on one of my old videos about Zina and Gabriel's relationship and how they were supposed to be lesbians and whatever. And this person basically wrote that most people or a lot of people wanted to see their relationship play out. No, you are a niche audience. Statistically, gay people are far less than heterosexual people, let alone transgender like real. I mean, I'm talking about really people that have gender dysphoria are less than 1% of the whole population in America. I'm not sure of the world. Maybe a 0 point whatever. The point is that this is factually untrue. Not all of the audience or half even wanted for them to be like full-fledged lesbians on screen. It was always a subtext, and it was just because one of the writers was a freaking lesbian that already tried to insert things into the show, and they let her because it was well, when you watch the show, you maybe actually not get that impression because all of their interactions that are kind of like a bit, on the other side were just so innocent. And they were always like in a context of a tragedy and something else happened and they touch for 2 seconds and everybody are like losing their minds.
I never thought,
Yeah.
my mother also watched the show. She never thought that. Was there any idiots who claimed the same thing about Ios and Hercules?
Yes,
Jesus.
they were shipping. The shipping culture. That
Jesus
is
Christ.
when I found out about the shipping culture, how everybody was shipping
Well,
Zina Gabriel
there
or
were
Hercules.
there were fans who were shipping, a trouble between Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey, and they did it in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But that just because Jonathan Hickman is a woke idiot, and his assistant was a black girl that looks like a boy, and on her laptop, because there was a photo how proudly she opened her laptop and she had stickers with rainbows and a sign like a queer stuff and things like that.
Oh, Blittian's watching
Hey,
over the
Oblivion.
superhero channel.
Nice.
Ooh, double rainbow.
Before we jump to the next topic, actually, also just to say about another guy like that, because I read a few days when talking about the characters, how they should be represented. Ta Nahesi Coates, that's his name, who is a outspoken, not a lesbian, outspoken black supremacist. By the way, he said it himself. An award-winning writer and stuff like that, and educator, and he was writing books about how great
Did you say black
specific, a specific a race of people is. Those books are really, really, really extreme, and they're about that. They gave him a couple of years ago. Marvel gave him to write Black Panther. Guess what happened to that character? Guess what happened to the sales of that comic book? Because he started to make it political and everything about Wakanda, and Black Panther was another character he was, because essentially he made him racist and everything else. And I read that comic book and I say, Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Why do you give the superheroes to people like that? And they wanted, remember that a Black Superman movie they wanted to do? He was going to write it. The same guy with J.J. Abrams.
The Black X.
Yeah. He was going to write that movie, and it was not going to be that outer universe Black Superman that they have in DC with, I don't remember his name because I don't care. It was going to be Clark Kent.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's travesty.
So
okay.
yeah. So if you see any works by Tan Nehesi Coates, avoid them, run away, don't scream
like a little girl.
No, scream proudly saying, I'm not going to read this.
Yes. I hope that you enjoyed this video. From me, the 40k Empress and Logan, the creators of this channel. I wish you all the best, guys, who watch this next. Let us know what you think in the comments and check the links down below if you like to support us. Love you guys. Bye bye.